Welcome to Fairy Tale Transport. What can I do for you today? Okay. So you've booked our enchanted weekend package. Wonderful. Alright, do you mind if I just get your first and last name, please? Okay. Just make sure it's in the system. Yes, I have you right here. Fantastic. Okay, so it looks like you have quite a few things planned for your trip. Wonderful. Okay, so let me just kind of go over your itinerary if you don't mind, and then we'll get you all set up to make your transport over to the other realm, okay? Great, okay. So it looks like we have a, you're going to be starting out with, you're going to be meeting our ambassador right when you get there, and she'll be leading you on a tour through the Glass Slipper Gardens. Then you'll be heading over for just a brief little tour of our museum. You'll be able to tour that. It's the Far, Far Away Museum, and it has various different artifacts and exhibits that I'm sure you'll find very fascinating. And yes, we've already purchased your ticket for that, so there's no need to worry about that whatsoever. And that is going to be followed by a fairy dust facial treatment at the spa there, as well as a little bit of a makeover. Would you like that? Great. And then we're going to send you on over to Baubles and Bits, where you'll be purchasing a magic wand, which you will give as a gift to the Fairy Queen, which will be the last part of your package. You'll be meeting with the Fairy Queen, and you'll be enjoying a cup of tea with her. Yes, that's quite customary for all new guests to the other realm, so you'll have a very enjoyable time. She's an absolutely delightful being, I guess you could say. And she loves humans, so there's nothing to worry about whatsoever. And at that time, you'll present her the magic wand. That's kind of tradition. And I know for a fact that she typically gives absolutely wonderful mementos to those that she meets with for tea, so you're probably going to be in for a pleasant surprise. Alright, and then you'll be heading back home. Great. Okay. So, what I'm going to have you do is that you've already filled out our questionnaire and everything, so there's no need to worry about doing any paperwork or anything right now. What I'm going to have you do is, whenever you're ready, I'm going to have you step into that room right there. You're assigned room number 3. And when you get in there, you'll notice that there is a rather large red wooden door at the other side of the room, as well as an attendant. And when the time is exactly right, the attendant will ask you to open the door, and the knob itself is programmed to only respond to your particular fingerprints, so only your imprint can open the door for safety reasons. So whenever you're ready, I'm going to have you go through the door, and then you'll embark through that red door. Okay? And there's nothing to be concerned about. We do about 50 of these departures every day, and there's never been an incident, so you're perfectly safe here. Okay. Well, yeah, we ask that you leave all of your belongings here. Everything will be provided for you when you arrive to the other realm. So, yeah. find that it prevents you from leaving anything behind that may be important, especially valuables. And it also leaves that world as pristine as possible, so we won't risk any cross-contamination or things of that nature. We had one particular guest quite a while back try to bring a food item into the other realm, and it was a bit of a disaster. So now we ask all of our guests to just leave all of their belongings behind, and we'll stow them away safely for you. Okay. Okay, great. So go ahead and prepare yourself, and as soon as you are all ready to get started, as I mentioned, just go ahead and head into that room number 3 over there, okay? Great. You step into the room. Immediately, you notice the smell, the sweet smell of freshly baked bread. It's wafting through the air. The room is warm and dimly lit. There aren't any lights, save for a few candelabras that are hanging from the ceiling, filled to the brim with candlesticks. They're putting off a soft glow, and the room is illuminated. You feel comfortable, at ease. You notice that there's a large wooden red door on the other side of the room. Leading up to the door are 4 stepping stones. You step on to the first stone, and as you do, you feel all of your worries and cares floating away. It feels as though a great weight has been lifted from your shoulders. When you are ready, you take another step and place both of your feet upon the second stepping stone. As you do this, you can feel every ounce of fear ebbing away from your body and your mind. You know that you are safe here, and you know that you're going to be welcomed. I want you to take a deep breath, and then exhale very slowly. When you are ready, step upon the 3rd stone. And as you feel the chill of the stone beneath your bare feet, you feel as though a part of you has just awoken. A part of you that has been dormant for many years. A part of you that has been sleeping for a great long while. It's a spark, a creative spark, the spark of imagination. I want you to step onto that 4th and last stone now. And as you do, you realize that you are completely prepared to enjoy the experience stop you. Because it's finally time for you to enter into another realm. Now turn the knob and push the door open. Hi there. I'd like to welcome you. My name is Guinevere, and I am going to be the tour guide for the first part of your package. You may want to refer to me as your ambassador if you wish, or just a friend who's going to help you kind of explore the first part of your journey. Well, as you can see, we are in the Glass Slipper Gardens. Now I must warn you, nothing about this garden is quite ordinary. In fact, just about everything that you'll find here is quite remarkable. Well, the most significant thing that you'll find is that absolutely everything in this garden is edible, even down to the grass. The only thing that isn't edible is the path that we'll be walking on, and we've placed this path here just to ensure that all of the edible items remain untouched and pristine as possible. Would you like to follow me? We'll just head down this path here, and I'll kind of walk you through some of the sights that you may find interesting and tell you a little bit more about the garden. Okay, wonderful. I didn't catch your name, by the way, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, well, it's wonderful to meet you. Yeah. Well, you're actually only my second client, if you will, or guest. I'm kind of new to this, so I'll do my best for you, though. Okay, the first thing we'll come upon here is the blades of grass are actually made from spun sugar. So, yeah. It's actually, the flavor is quite like lemon. Then again, there are some blades that are darker, and they taste more like molasses, with just a hint of brown sugar, of course. Now, as we go down a bit further down this path, you're going to notice an expansive flower garden. And this is kind of the crown jewel of the Glass Slipper Gardens. It's what most people really enjoy seeing when they come to visit us. The roses are really the only flower that you'll actually find which is a traditional flower here. And of course they're edible, and they taste quite a bit like buttercream. Raspberry buttercream, to be exact. And they are simply decadent, so if you'd like to try one, all you need to do is, yes, you're completely able to taste anything here. Actually, as you walk through the door, there was a sort of cleansing process where we got rid of all of the bacteria that you may have brought with you, so there's no need to worry about any of that. You're able to touch everything here. So that particular rose right there, if you just take a petal from it and place it upon your tongue, you'll notice right away it will dissolve, and you'll get the sudden burst of flavor, which is the creaminess of a rich raspberry buttercream. Isn't that delicious? Yes, it's one of my favorites. Yes, we only grow red roses here. It's the Fairy Queen's favorite, so we imported them here. But there are some other flowers I'd like to show you. If you'll notice here, these are long-stemmed, chocolate-covered strawberries. So instead of a traditional flower bud, you'll find that a strawberry has sprouted in, and of course it's covered in decadent dark chocolate. And we often serve these as desserts to our guests, and we place some whipped cream on the side. Now you'll find something quite unique here. There are two main ponds on the grounds, and one is over there. If you'll notice, it's not traditional water, of course. It's actually whipped cream, and that's where we get all of our whipped cream from. And then there's another pond further on, which you'll be able to see in just a few moments, but that's completely filled with melted marshmallows. Well, the heat from the Earth's core is able to heat up the marshmallows, and it essentially naturally warms them and melts them. Okay. So as we walk along a bit further here, this bush right here may look a bit like a traditional flowering bush that you'd find in your realm. However, it's not sprouting quite yet, but you'll find that the leaves are quite delicious. And they actually taste like peppermint, so if you'd like to grab one of those, you're more than welcome to. And when it does sprout, every autumn actually. Traditionally it's spring, but this bush is an autumn sprouter. And when it does grow in, all the flowers, they all taste like honey. And they're in the shape of miniature honeycombs actually, and they're quite remarkable to say the least. We use them for a lot of our baking dishes, our baked goods. Okay. And this next little patch of flowers you'll find here, they look quite a bit like daffodils. However, if you'll take a closer look, you'll notice that they're actually tiny slivers of yellow cake. And that, of course, they grow in this way naturally. And what we often do is we'll harvest these tiny slivers of yellow cake, and then we'll go get a big dollop of melted marshmallow from the pond over there and just lightly coat them in that, and it's an absolutely sublime dessert for our guests. I enjoy one on occasion as well. And then the last flower that I'd like to draw your attention to is the piece de resistance of Glass Slipper Gardens, if you will. And this is actually, it looks a bit like lavender. I guess it would be the closest resembling plant to it that you have in your realm. But again, if you really look closer, you'll notice that each petal of the lavender, which is quite an expansive field, if I do say so myself, each particular petal is a very small scone that has been covered in boysenberry jam. And I have to admit that above all else, I do believe that these are my favorite, and the scones are rich and buttery and have such a delicate taste to them. And then the boysenberry jam is the freshest thing you'll ever taste. We counted, or estimated anyway, and we think that we have about 4,000 flowering plants of this variety. So Mhm. It is quite astonishing, isn't it? All right. Now you'll be eating things that are found in this garden throughout your entire adventure here. So you'll get to taste many of the wonderful things that we grow naturally here during your journey, if you will. All right. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to be sending you over to the next part of your adventure, and but it was a pleasure meeting you, and I'll see you again when you head back home. I'll be the one who will be helping you make the transition back to the transport agency. And when you're ready, they'll escort you here, but you'll just need to come right back to this location, and you'll go right back through the door, so there's absolutely nothing to worry about. It's completely safe. Wonderful. Okay. Well, again, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I'll see you again shortly. Great. You continue walking on the path. As you do, you notice the sky above you is not the usual blue, but a beautiful violet color. The clouds are a lovely yellow. But just when you get used to the beautiful hue of the sky above you, it changes. And now you find that the clouds are a lovely sapphire, and the sky that surrounds them is a deep, deep green, almost only oceanic in color. When you finally reach your next destination, which is the museum, you notice right away that the building is made entirely of diamonds. And as you step in, you are welcomed by a being that just exudes excitement, warmth, and comfort. Welcome to Far, Far Away Museum. You must be my 11 o'clock appointment. Okay. So, my name's Beth, and I'm going to be kind of in charge of giving you a little tour. I'll just be showing you some of the most fascinating exhibits that we have here, and then you can browse around on your own if you like. Does that sound like a plan? Okay, great. Okay, so now you've never been here before, right? You've never been to this realm. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to kind of take you on the grand tour then and show you quite a few different exhibits that we offer or that we have available today. The exhibits constantly rotate, so about once every month we switch everything out, and just to get fresh exhibits in here. But you came at a great time because we have some of our most popular items here now. Okay, so this first one that you're going to see here is actually the apple. It's not a replica, it's the exact apple that was given to Snow White. As you'll notice, you can even see there's still a bite mark out of it. And, of course, since it's a magic apple, it has been perfectly preserved. And we also, just to be sure, we keep it in a temperature-restricted environment within that glass box. So you can't be too careful with magic apples. And then this next part of our exhibit here, this is actually the exact spindle that was infamously cursed in the Sleeping Beauty tale. It's actually Beauty donated it to us directly, so in fact many of these items were donated by the original owner. Now, this particular spindle, many people often mistake for the one that Rumpelstiltskin included in his tale, but that's why we have to put all these placards on a lot of the items, because sometimes people can be mistaken about where exactly they fit in. So this one was in fact the Sleeping Beauty spindle, though. Yes. This next exhibit, it's actually one of our most, I guess you can say, understated items that we have here. It's very basic, not too ornate, but it is quite significant, especially to the history of our land. And this is the final brick of the house that was eventually, basically time wore it down, but the big bad wolf couldn't. So eventually it just kind of fell apart in disrepair. But we were managed to get the last brick from the notorious house. It was donated by the original inhabitant. And I think it's one of our most remarkable pieces, just because it's kind of a symbol of resilience and ingenuity. So I really enjoy this particular piece. Most of our guests kind of walk right by it and kind of think nothing of it, but whenever I give my tours, my grand tours especially, I always include this item on the roster, just because it's so significant to me, I think. And as we come up on our next exhibit, this is a hairbrush that was actually used by Rapunzel when she was locked away in the tower. And if you look very closely, you can actually still see a few strands of her long hair in the brush. And I think this piece is remarkable as well. The brush is so ornately detailed, and it's all solid silver, and it's just simply a breathtaking piece. Yes, I agree, yeah. Yes, she actually donated this one. It's the original, but she had a second one made that she still uses today that's much like this one. Yes. Okay, the next exhibit here, it will be off to your right. We're heading into the next room. And this is our climate-controlled room. The entire room itself is one constant temperature, because there are a variety of items here that are a bit fragile or organic. For instance, this first item here is actually a sapling that, or clipping, if you will, taken from the original beanstalk. And well, there's a bit of a controversy going on about this particular sapling at the moment, believe it or not. Some people are saying that it is quite a dangerous item to have in the museum because of the possibility of it sprouting one day if exposed to the right conditions, and others think it should be here just simply because it is such a major part of our past, and it's kind of a constant reminder of the risks that are involved in adventures and such. So it's kind of we're kind of divided in that aspect. Yeah. Actually, there's actually going to be a hearing about it next week, so we'll see what happens. And this next item that's on display here is also in the climate-controlled room because it is rather fragile and kind of falling apart in many respects. It's just a scrap from the infamous magic carpet. The original carpet was kind of disintegrated over time, and this is kind of all that remains, and it was donated directly by the original owner again. And he knew that we would be able to take better care of it and, keep it under close watch and in a temperature-controlled room, so he thought it was the best thing to do. And even from this just tiny, small, basically scrap of it, you can see how finely detailed the tapestry was. I mean, it's just absolutely breathtaking. And the range of colors that were used, it's amazing. It is. Yeah. And here you can even see the interwoven stitches, and yeah, the craftsmanship is superb. There's just a couple more exhibits that I'd like to show you. This next one is, it looks seemingly ordinary, as quite a few of these objects do, but this is the basket used by Red Riding Hood. Yes, on that particular day, yes. And we're in talks with Red to basically get the hood that was used, but it would take a lot of work to get it back to its original luster and coloring, so we're debating whether that's the best option, or and really even if she wants to part with it, just because it is such a valuable keepsake for her. So we're kind of, yeah, in talks with her and negotiations, I guess you can say at this point. So, but for now we do have the wonderful basket she carried, and as you can see again, it's a perfect example of the extremely superior craftsmanship that you'll find here in our realm. Yeah, we take great pride in everything that we create and produce. Alright. And then we have this last one, and I'm sure that you will notice it right away. It is the glass slipper. Now this one, we know for sure, we have documentation to prove it, that this is the one that she did misplace as she was running out of the bowl. So it's not the one she had on her foot, but it was the one that was carried around the land, essentially, to find her perfect foot. So this is quite a unique piece, and it's our most popular, I'd say, by far. And everyone always runs right to this one when they come into the museum, so I definitely had to show you this. It is quite spectacular, isn't it? We make sure that it's cleaned regularly, not too roughly, of course, because we don't want to diminish the shine of it, or risk breaking it whatsoever. We had a bit of a scare a couple of months ago. We thought it was chipped, but it was just the way the light was hitting it, so we were quite relieved, as you can imagine. Okay, well, that's the end of our tour. Are there any questions you have? No? Okay. Well, I'll let you get back to the rest of rest of your package then, all the rest of your adventure. I'm excited for you though, because I know this must be all quite extraordinary for you. So, okay. Well, it was a pleasure helping you and showing you all of the little sites that we offer here at the museum. So if you have any more questions, though, feel free to come back, or if you'd like to see anything over again, just feel free to come back and see us. Okay, bye. Now that you're done touring the museum, you learn that the one room, but it has everything in it that you'll ever need. So you spend the evening sitting by the fire, eating the wonderful delights that the realm has to offer. And you finish your night with a warm cup of hot chocolate with marshmallows from the pond, of course. And then you retire for a restful night's sleep, only to awake in the morning feeling refreshed and excited about the day ahead. Now you're going to go and get your fairy dust facial and makeover at the spa. This isn't any ordinary spa, and you find that out very quickly. It's tucked away in a cave near the lagoon. The cave is filled with flowers, and it's been transformed into the most tranquil retreat you could ever hope to find. Welcome to the Fairy Dust Day Spa. What can I do for you today? Oh, wonderful. Okay. So, let me just make sure I have everything all clear here in the schedule as to what your package entails. Great. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So, I see that you're going to be getting our special, which is the Fairy Dust Facial, and then I'll be giving you a bit of a makeover. Okay. Yes. I do get that quite a lot. I'm often recognized for my hair just because it is so long, it's rather hard to hide, but I always have to tie it back when I'm working here in the spa, just because it gets in the way, but I am Rapunzel, yeah. It's very nice to meet you as well. Yes, I am quite experienced at makeup artistry for the simple fact that, I was kept away for quite a while, and you don't get locked away in a tower without picking up some tips and tricks on applying makeup to yourself, so I was able to kind of study up on that, all by my lonesome. So it was a great opportunity, though, in that respect. I mean, it was a bit unnerving, the whole situation, but I got through it, and I live a great life now, so yeah. So, yeah, you're in capable hands. I'm just going to put on some great products for you, and then you'll be all set. Great. Alright, what I'm going to have you do is just go ahead and have a seat here in this chair. And I can see that you already have a beautiful outfit on, so I'm just going to wrap this towel kind of around your neck, that way just in case any makeup dust or fairy dust should kind of go wayward, it won't end up on your clothing, okay? Okay. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do first for the fairy dust facial is I'm going to, basically to have it work the best, I have to cleanse your face beforehand. So I'm going to go ahead and use just a very simple cleanser. Now all of the products that you'll find here, they can only be found at our spa. They're all organic and they're made from basically ingredients that we grow here in the realm. For example, you'll find a lot of our products have natural herbs and flowers in them. And a lot of food byproducts. For example, some of them might have strawberry extract or honey in them. Alright? Okay, so I'm going to use this cleanser. So I'm just going to kind of lightly cleanse your skin. Okay, wonderful. So now what I'll do is I'll just put kind of a light sheer moisturizer on there, just so that we have kind of a base coat for the fairy dust, okay? Great. And this product actually contains aloe vera, which you'll find plenty of in the Enchanted Forest along the borders. And as I do this, of course, I'm going to lightly massage your face, and just to kind of get the circulation going to your cheeks. Okay, give you a bit more color. Great. I'm going to use some of this fairy dust here, and the fairy dust is essentially just going to really give your skin a nice glow, make it almost iridescent, and it has a bit of a magical quality, of course, to it. It will heighten the look of your makeup, so anything I put on will just be accentuated even further. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I wear fairy dust, just a bit of it every day. It just gives me a natural kind of glow that is unmistakable. Yeah. So now I'm going to apply the fairy dust itself, and we keep it in these tiny containers, just because we find it's able to kind of contain the potency a little bit more. And just get some there on the brush. And then I'll just start applying it. You'll notice as it touches your skin, it's going to be very tingly. It almost feels as though I'm putting bubbles on your skin, kind of carbonated bubbles. So, so I'll just have you close your eyes and relax, and really kind of just enjoy the effects of the fairy dust. All right? Great. How are you feeling? Okay, yeah. Is it tingling yet? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm just going to let it sit there for a couple of minutes and let you enjoy it fully. And I'll be back in just a moment or two, alright? And just relax and unwind. Great. Alright, I'm back. You look absolutely amazing. You already have that glow about you. Okay, well, the great thing about fairy dust is you don't have to apply a whole lot of makeup after you put on the fairy dust itself. So I'm just going to kind of put on a light foundation just to kind of, I don't want to basically cover up the glow that you have about you thanks to the fairy dust. So I'm just going to use a powder, and it's just to basically kind of cover up a couple of the blemishes that you have there on the side of your face. They're very, very small, but I'm just going to basically apply a light coating of the powder foundation, okay? Okay. Okay, that's perfect. That's all you need. And I think might look great on you. I have this really shimmery eyeshadow, and it's a very light lilac color, and I think that'll be perfect. It's almost unnoticeable. It's very natural, but it'll give you that kind of brighter look about your eyes. Your eyes are absolutely beautiful. Just to kind of accentuate them a bit, okay? I'm just going to apply it with, I'm going to take it from the brush and apply it directly with my finger. Just because I only want to put a little bit on. Okay, great. Now we'll put just a little bit of mascara. Great. Put it there. Left eye first. A little bit on your right eye. Perfect. Okay. And then we'll put on some blush. You know what? I don't think you really need any. That fairy dust is really having a great reaction to your skin, so I'm going to skip the blush just because you have a natural color to your cheeks now, and I don't want to diminish that at all, okay? I am going to put a little bit of lipstick on, though. I have this light, almost like a tint. It's a gloss, and it's all natural, of course, again, but it smells like honey and marshmallows. Absolutely amazing. In fact, there's a bit of honey in it. So I'll put that on your lips. Go. Just a little dab. A little dab will do you, as they say. Okay. Great. Well, you look absolutely amazing. That's it. We're all through. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy your visit with the Queen. I'm sure you'll have an amazing time. No, your hair looks beautiful. Trust me, I know all about hair. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but your hair looks amazing. Yeah, it's I wouldn't do a thing with it. The ends look healthy. I was kind of eyeing it as I was giving you your makeover, but the ends look very healthy, and the way you've styled it is wonderful. So I wouldn't touch it. Looks great. Okay. Well, I'll let you go then. I know you're busy today, so wonderful. I'll see you around then. Great. The next stop along your journey is a trip to Baubles and Bits, a beautiful little boutique in the middle of the village. As you walk into the store, a bell sounds to welcome you. And the shopkeeper immediately passes you a smile. Hi there. Welcome to Baubles and Bits. How can I help you today? Okay. Oh, how wonderful. You're the one that's going to meet the Fairy Queen today. Okay. So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I am the one who's going to be helping you pick out the magic wand as a gift, correct? Okay, great. That's fantastic. So what I'll have you do is I'll just actually have you kind of follow me over to the counter here, and I have them all underneath this enchanted glass right here. We have to keep them protected, so you can just kind of look at them, and if there's one in particular that catches your eye, you can let me know, and I'll remove it from the case, and you can kind of feel it and feel the texture of it and the weight, and decide if that's the one you'd like to present to her. Okay, great. So let me just begin by saying, think very carefully about which wand you're going to give to her as a gift. The Fairy Queen, how shall I put this? She's a very kind person, but she can be a bit temperamental, especially about the gifts that she's given by guests. So just be very careful and really go with your intuition. And I know for a fact as well that the Fairy Queen is not judgmental per se, but she will gather an opinion of you from the wand that you present to her when you do meet her. Okay? Okay, so I just wanted to give you that little precaution. Wonderful. Okay, so the first gift, or the first wand that you may want to give as a gift is this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's made out of a thin piece of oak that's been whittled down into the traditional wand stick shape, and it's actually been covered with spun spider webbing and sprinkled with fairy dust, of course. And the actual tip of the wand here is a preserved rose, which, yes, that's her favorite. So, and this preserved rose will last like this in its fresh state pretty much for all of eternity. So there's no danger of it wilting or discoloring at all. And then, as you can see, we have this lovely ribbon tied in a bow that's draped down, you know, kind of cascading down the wand. So, this next selection here is more of your traditional classic wand. It's again, a thin piece of wood, only this is redwood, and it's wrapped in ribbon, a nice soft blue ribbon. And the tip of the wand is your classic star shape, and that's made entirely out of porcelain. And then it's coated in a liberal dose of glitter, of course. You can't have too much glitter, can you? Okay. Now this third option here, this is made entirely out of blown glass, including the stem of the wand and the tip. And as you can see, the tip is in a heart shape, and the actual stem of the wand is not the traditional kind of straight line. It's more of a wiggly line. So it's very playful and whimsical. I think this is quite possibly one of my favorites. But again, you need to choose the wand that kind of speaks to you and the one that your intuition goes with, definitely. This fourth wand. I love this one just because it's mainly all botanical elements to it. So the wand is actually made out of a very rare wood that we have here. And yes, it's only a wood that grows in the far reaches of the enchanted forest, so we harvest it only about once every 10 years, or earth years I should say, which is a much longer time frame here. And the wood itself is actually quite like oak on the outside. However, in the core of the wood, it's completely solid pearl. So the pearl is what gives it a special magical quality. And some fairies will choose to leave the wood coating on, and some will chip away at the wood and make designs out of it to let the pearl come through. It all depends upon the fairy who receives it. So, and the tip of the wand is a large pearl that has been taken straight from an oyster off the bay. Of course, it's a giant oyster because this is a rather large pearl, as you can see. And then, just to give it a more traditional feel, we did drape that ribbon on the side there, that soft pink ribbon. I feel that it gives it a special touch, and looks absolutely beautiful with that pearlescent color of the pearlescent white of the pearl. It's absolutely gorgeous. Alright, and we have this last wand here. And this is an absolutely breathtaking wand. And it's made out of this one, as you can see, it consists of a solid hand-blown glass tube. It appears to be solid, but actually it's hollowed out in the middle. And in the middle is actually just a bit of the north wind. And it's been encapsulated in this particular wand. And the tip of the wand is spherical. And within it is almost a miniature snow globe, if you can see, so with glitter rather than snow, of course. And it's a miniature setting, so as you can see there's a little landscape, and it's the enchanted forest. And if you shake it, then you'll actually notice movement. You'll see the breeze rustling through the trees that are in there. So it's an absolutely amazing wand. Did you want to go with that one? Okay. Now, are you sure? Okay. Wonderful. Well, what I'm going to do, would you like me to gift wrap this for you so that it's all ready to go when you meet with the Fairy Queen? Wonderful. I'll go ahead and do that for you then. Yeah, like I said, you won't need to pay anything. The payment has already been arranged, so you're good to go, as they say. Okay, wonderful. I'll just wrap it for you then, and you can head on over to the next part of your package. Great. Alright, here's that magic wand all wrapped and ready to present to her. Wonderful. Well, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you, and I'm so glad I could help you pick out the perfect wand today. Okay. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your visit here. Take care. You're now ready to meet the Fairy Queen. Your escorted to a small clearing in the meadow. There sits a throne, and across from it, a comfortable chair with a high back. On the table, you notice that there's a tea setting. You have a seat. Just as you do, they announce the entrance of the Fairy Queen. Hello there, dear. It's an honor to meet you. I hope you don't mind, but I've kind of arranged for us to have a delicious glass of warm, or cup of warm tea, and some muffins and cookies and cakes and things of that nature. Is that all right? Wonderful. Please have a seat, though. Make yourself comfortable. I'd like to have a little chat with you, and I'd also kind of like to give you the opportunity to ask me any questions that you may have about my realm, or about anything of that sort, alright? Wonderful. Okay. You have a gift for me. Oh, that's terrific. May I see it? Okay. Oh, you don't mind if I unwrap it right away, do you? It looks absolutely amazing. Okay. Oh, it's beautiful. Ah. I don't think I could have picked a better one out for myself. It's absolutely the perfect wand. Well, I heartily thank you. This is simply wonderful. Oh, I'll be sure to use it. Not too often, though. I don't want to wear it out. It is so wonderful. Thank you so very much. I have a gift for you, but I'm going to wait until the end of our little chat to give it to you. Is that all right? Okay, splendid. So, how do you take your tea? Would you like some sugar or honey or cream? Some honey? Okay, that's not a problem at all. I'll go ahead and pour you a nice cup of tea. And would you like any sort of sweets to go along with that? Okay, well if you do, I'll leave them right here. They're on this beautiful cake platter I have. It's one of those tiered cake platters that you can serve all of your pastries on for tea time, so I absolutely love it. I received it as a gift about a year ago, and I'll never part with it. So tell me a little bit more about yourself, dear. Oh, well, that's simply remarkable. It's wonderful. And how are you enjoying your time with us? Everyone's been treating you well, right? Okay. And what have you been doing, if I may ask? Oh, yes, the museum is quite wonderful. And the gardens, oh, I have to say, not to, take sides or play favorites, but that garden is my favorite place here in our land. I escape there as often as I possibly can. It's such a wonderful sanctuary. And of course I have a nibble or two of those roses. Roses are my favorite after all. Now, do you have any questions for me that I can answer? I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have for me. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Well, I began the ambassador program about 50 years ago, in Earth time, of course. I felt that it was necessary for humans to be able to escape to our realm for just a little while, to possibly eliminate the stress that they may be feeling and really get a glimpse of what magic truly is, and to see that life anywhere can be magical, I suppose. And I've never regretted it. I love having all of you wonderful people visit us. And we only reserve it for a select few, though, not just anyone. So you must be a special person. I can tell that you're special. So you are probably most deserving of this little escape. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm almost positive of it. Now, yes, there have been quite a few others that have come to visit. Let me think. It has been a while, so. Well, before I opened the exchange ambassadorship program, if you will, there were quite a few who snuck through, and they were mischief makers sneaking through, but I adore them all the same. Well, there was, of course, Lewis Carroll, Roald Dahl. He was an absolute dear. Let me think here. Who else? Their names on the tip of my tongue. Oh, of course, the Grimm brothers. Yes. But, you know, they were troublemakers. They sort of wreaked havoc here, so we asked them to leave promptly after they were discovered on our grounds. So normally we let humans kind of wander around a bit and we show them the utmost in hospitality, but those particular two individuals, let's just say they weren't my favorites. But yes, there's been quite a few others as well. More the creative types, I guess you could say. But honestly, I think I enjoy meeting with just about each and every one of you. I get a sense of what life is like in the earthly realm, and I get to hear your thoughts about things, and you're all such beautiful people. I really do look forward to these visits. I do. Do you have any more questions for me now? And don't hold back. You can ask me anything you like. Yes, we do have quite a few inhabitants that are more on the unsavory side, I suppose you could call it. And those individuals are kept safely locked away. Pretty much all of the villains that you'll find in fairy tales, they really do exist, as do, in many cases, as do the heroes or heroines. But for that reason, we do feel that we need to take strong safety precautions against allowing these, less than innocent characters from escaping into the other realm. We had one occasion, many, many, many years ago, where Maleficent actually tried to sneak past our guards through the door. And she was promptly stopped, of course, but it was a close call. And it kind of drew our attention to the fact that if these people were ever allowed to get through, it could spell disaster for everyone involved. So now we keep them locked away, and they are kept comfortable, but kept locked away so that they don't harm anyone. It's a necessary evil, I suppose. I don't particularly enjoy locking anyone up, but sometimes I suppose it's necessary. Oh, yes. I quite often get asked about the age of our kingdom, and I suppose you can say it's absolutely timeless. Oh, it's been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I have not always been the queen, of course. I was handed the crown from my mother and her mother before her. But I can say that our history books are quite expansive and in-depth, of course, and that we have been here and were here long before humans ever began to find out about us. And of course, the fairy tales that you read are often quite skewed, or they're missing important details, or they're dramatized. But essentially, the core values of them and the characters that are involved in them, many of them do exist, and they live peacefully here. A vast majority of the time, that is. Alright, so I have to give you a gift now because I just can't hold back any longer. So, many of the people who met you were telling me a little bit about yourself and how wonderful you were and what a great personality you have and how kind you were to everyone that you encountered. So I was thinking about the best possible gift to give to you, because I feel that I cannot let a human leave here without giving them some sort of gift. And it's always a well thought out gift that really reflects your true nature. So I wanted to present you this enchanted teacup. Now I know this might seem a bit strange. You were probably expecting a grandiose gift, but this is a very unique teacup indeed. In fact, each time you pour a warm spot of tea into this teacup and sip from it, you'll automatically be able to return to us again. Consider it a faster means of transportation. Now you won't be able to do this more often than once or twice a year, for the simple fact that the magic will need to charge again. But whenever you really feel the need to return to us, to walk through our gardens, to visit our museum, to be pampered at our luxurious enchanted spa, to shop at our wonderful stores, or to visit me, you need only brew yourself a nice kettle of tea and take a sip. It's been a pleasure to welcome you here into our kingdom, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, please do take care of yourself. Goodbye for now.